Hey guys, Will and Christy here, and what are we doing today?
We're making a creamy Cajun meatball pasta recipe.
Let's do it.
We're going to start by making the meatballs for the recipe. And the recipe creator for this recipe wants you to cook the meatballs in the skillet. We're not doing that because we find baking them in the oven is a lot more foolproof. Like if you're like afraid that you're going to cook the outside of your meatballs but not on the inside, then just put them in the oven and let the oven do it for you. So we have our ground beef in the bowl. We're adding in our breadcrumbs, a teaspoon of mustard. We will have the recipe creators blog linked in the description so that you can see full ingredient amounts. Of course, for the meatball part, we actually use the recipe that we always do. So that'll be a separate recipe that I have linked. So I'll have two recipes linked, one for the meatballs, one for what makes it Cajun. So anyway, we got the breadcrumbs, mustard, a little salt, and a little pepper. That's just to taste. And then one egg. And Joel, who has on gloves, is ready to mix them up. All right, and as you can see, Joel is rolling them now. And you'll probably get how many out of them?
We usually get about 18 out of a pound.
18, okay. All right, and so after we finish this part, we'll show you what we do next. So all of the meatballs have been rolled out. Now we're just going to spread just a little bit of olive oil on the top of each one. Our olive oil spray bottle, Misto, it broke, so we're just going old fashioned. We have some olive oil in a bowl and we're just using a brush to spread it on. Because you got to work with what you have. Yep. All right, so now it goes in the oven. It's been preheated to 425 degrees. It goes in for about 10 minutes. And then I think that you rotate them over and then go for another 5 to 10. Yep. All right, the meatballs are done now. I did forget to show that after the 10 minutes, you turn them over and then you put them in for another 5 to 10 minutes. You just want to make sure that they're cooked on the inside. I think it took us 7 minutes the second time. But anyway, they are ready now. Now we're going on to the next step. Now, if you had cooked those meatballs in the skillet, you would already have oil in the skillet and drippings from the ground beef. But since we didn't do that, we didn't have that, so I just added some olive oil. And we're going to saute some garlic. If you want onions in your Cajun recipe, which you can, we just don't like the texture of an onion. But if you do, then you would also add this at the same time. And you want to go, like it says 3 minutes, but that's counting onions. We'll be going for a lot less than that because the garlic will start burning. All right, so now we are adding our chicken broth. That's, I think, a cup and a half of chicken broth. We need to bring that up to a boil before we do anything else. So we'll be turning the eye up a little bit to get it going. And we'll show you the next step. All right, since our broth is boiling, now we're adding our pasta in there. That was 8 ounces of pasta. We're going to let that go for about probably 8 minutes. Our eye that we have it on, it cooks really fast between that and our Tefal skillets. So it says 8 to 10 minutes, so we're probably going to be on the 8-minute side. All right, it's been 8 minutes and all the liquid is cooked out of it. I think the noodles are probably done enough. It's time to start adding some other things to the dish. First thing, heavy whipping cream. And then we're gonna add some Cajun seasonings in there. Now, you can use a Cajun seasoning blend. We didn't make one. We just are going to use seasonings that are typically found in Cajun seasoning. Paprika, garlic powder, salt, oregano, thyme, onion powder, cayenne pepper, and finally some red pepper flakes. We will link down in the description the recipe that we used to that if you want to make the blend instead so that you don't have to do each individual ingredient when you make something, we'll put that down in the description so that you can check out that tells all of those ingredients and how much to put in it to make the blend. All right, so we're gonna let that simmer for about 2 to 3 minutes. We want that just to thicken up a little bit. Once you let it get all creamy, then just add the meatballs back in there. Then add in some Parmesan cheese that you could grate if you want to. I put it in our little shredder and shredded it up instead because it's faster. But anyway, you just mix that in until the cheese is combined into it, and make sure that the meatballs have heated back up. And then guess what?
Time to eat.
Time to eat. Okay. If you've noticed, because we did the meatballs in the pan, that made it not a one-pot dish. But if you had cooked it in the skillet, like the recipe creator wanted, then it would be a one-pot dish. So if you're looking for an easy one night, like follow the recipe creator's instructions and give it a try. And, you know, then you only got the one pan clean. Yeah.
That's right.
All right, guys, this is probably a short video. We are about to go on a cruise. Joel has a work event on a cruise. So we're just making our video short and sweet because I got to do some packing. Anyway, yeah, so this is the recipe that we chose to do for you today. It's pretty easy. Not a lot of planning goes into it, you know. You can, as long as you've got your ground beef thawed out, you're good. Anyway, would you like to do a taste test, Joel? As you saw from the recipe, the meatball recipe part of it is kind of basic, like you would use in most meatballs and spaghetti recipes, stuff like that. It's the sauce that makes it Cajun. Is that good?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. All right. We have had this one time before, so he knew what it was going to taste like. Yeah. Good? Mm-hmm. Recommend? Mm-hmm. Yeah, he recommends? He's not saying it loud enough. It's probably not being picked up by the camera.
Yeah, recommend.
All right. All right. Like I said, short and sweet video, so...
If you have a recipe you'd like us to try, drop us in the comment section below. We'd love to try some new recipes that you might have. I think that's going to do it today for saving money for the long run. We're Joel and Christy. Don't forget the long run and give yourself a little grace.